Let me tell you something that'll make you look at your dashboard a little differently tonight. Picture this. It's way past midnight. The city's asleep, the highways are empty, and somewhere out there, Elon Musk fires off a tweet. Not a press release, not a boardroom announcement, just a cryptic, off-the-cuff message to his millions of followers. Within minutes, Wall Street is in chaos. Tesla's stock price nosedives, fortunes are lost, and somewhere, a handful of people get very, very rich. But what if I told you that's just the tip of the iceberg? What if those late-night tweets are just the smoke, and the real fire is burning deep inside the engine of the automotive world? Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on the secrets, the cover-ups, and the conspiracies that keep the gears of this industry turning in the shadows. Something terrifying caught my attention lately. You ever get the feeling that the people running the show aren't telling you the whole story? That's exactly how I felt when I started digging into the chaos Musk has been stirring up lately. We're not just talking about a billionaire with a Twitter addiction. We're talking about a man whose words can wipe out billions in market value before most of us have even had our morning coffee. But the real question is, why? Why does one man have this much power over the market? And what's really going on behind those viral headlines? Quick thing, if you're into this kind of dark automotive deep dive, you might want to stick around. I expose stuff like this all the time, and trust me, it only gets darker from here. The dark context, when tweets crash Wall Street. Let's set the scene. Tesla's market cap swings by over $100 billion in a single day, all because of a single tweet. One moment, investors are celebrating, the next, they're in free fall. And it's not just Tesla. SpaceX, X, formerly Twitter, even global defense contractors are caught up in the storm. But here's what most people don't realize. These aren't just random mood swings. There are whispers, insiders from SpaceX and X hinting at secret AI projects, massive data hoarding, and hush-hush partnerships with governments and militaries. Starlink satellites, which started out as a way to bring internet to the masses, are now the backbone of military communications from Ukraine to who knows where. And while everyone's busy watching the stock ticker, something much bigger is happening behind the scenes. But wait, it gets even darker.
Now, here's where it gets really disturbing. Some folks say Musk's unpredictability is all part of the plan, a kind of strategic chaos designed to distract us from the real moves. Think about it. While everyone's busy arguing about the latest meme-worthy tweet, who's paying attention to the data being siphoned off their car's autopilot? Who's watching the contracts being signed with the Pentagon, the satellites being launched with undisclosed payloads? It's like when you discover your mechanic has been lying to you for years. You trusted them with your car, your safety, your money, and all along they were hiding something under the hood. That just doesn't sit right with me at all. That reminds me of something else they don't want you to know. Let's talk about the grip Musk has over critical infrastructure. Starlink isn't just about faster YouTube videos, it's about controlling the flow of information in real time, across borders, across battlefields, across entire governments. When Ukraine's military communications depend on a private company's satellites, who's really in charge? And what about AI? With xAI, Musk isn't just building smarter cars, he's building the algorithms that decide what you see, what you think, maybe even what you believe. The facts show he's pushing the limits of technology, but honestly, I think there's something darker going on. When one man controls the highways, the satellites, and the algorithms, is that innovation, or is that a monopoly with no checks and balances? Speaking of that, let me tell you about the real reason. Nobody talks about how intertwined Musk's companies really are. Is Tesla's autopilot data being used to train secret AI? Are SpaceX rockets carrying more than satellites? Maybe surveillance tech nobody voted for? And why do governments keep handing over billion-dollar contracts while regulators look the other way? It's basically the difference between what they tell you and what's really happening. On the surface, it's all about progress and innovation, but underneath, It's a tangled web of influence, secrecy, and power plays that would make even the most jaded car enthusiast do a double take. Comment below what you think about this dark revelation. Have you ever felt like your car was watching you, or that the people in charge are hiding something bigger than we can imagine? Here's the dark truth. Honestly, I think this is terrifying. The more I dig, the more I see a pattern. Every time Musk stirs up chaos, there's a bigger, quieter move happening in the background.
It's like a magician's trick. Look over here while the real action is happening over there. Remember the 2008 auto bailout? The recalls that nobody wanted to talk about? The dealerships that mysteriously went under while others thrived? It's all part of the same playbook. Distract, deflect, and let the real deals happen in the shadows. A lot of folks don't talk about this dark side, but it's there, and it's getting harder to ignore. That just doesn't sit right with me at all. Let's get personal for a second. Have you ever bought a car only to find out later that there was a recall nobody told you about? Or maybe your insurance rate spiked after an accident that wasn't even your fault? That's the kind of manipulation and deception that's baked into the system. Now imagine that on a global scale. Imagine the same playbook being used not just to sell you a car, but to control the flow of information, the movement of armies, the fate of entire economies. That's the world we're living in, and it's only getting darker. Share this with someone who needs to know the truth, because the more we talk about it, the harder it is for them to keep hiding it. Makes you wonder what else they're hiding, doesn't it? Let's circle back to those late-night tweets. Why do they have so much power? Is it just the cult of personality, or is there something deeper at play? When a single message can crash Wall Street, who's really pulling the strings? Some people say it's just the market reacting to news, but I suspect there's more to it than that. Maybe it's about sending a signal to the insiders, tipping off the people who know how to profit from chaos. Or maybe it's about keeping us distracted so we don't notice the real moves happening behind closed doors. Is this really progress or just another corporate deception? I know some people see it differently, and I get why they'd think that. But in my view, this is a massive cover-up, and we're only seeing the surface. Now, this is where it gets really sinister. Let's talk about the evolution of car tech. Remember when cars were just machines, engines, wheels, gas pedals? Now they're rolling computers packed with sensors, cameras, and software that can be updated overnight. Sounds cool, right? But what happens when that software can be used to track you, control you, or even shut your car down remotely? It's like when you're at a dealership and they promise you the world, but the fine print says otherwise. The difference is, now the stakes are a lot higher.
It's not just your wallet on the line. It's your privacy, your freedom, maybe even your safety. What would you do if you discovered this about your car? Here's a question for you. If you found out your car was collecting data on everywhere you went, everything you did, would you keep driving it? Or would you start to question who's really in control? Because that's the world we're heading toward. Cars that know more about you than your best friend. Satellites that can watch you from space. Algorithms that decide what you see, what you think, maybe even how you vote. Like if you agree this is disturbing, because the more I learn, the less I trust the people running the show. In my view, this is a massive cover-up. Let's not forget the government contracts. Every time there's a scandal, a recall, a data breach, somehow the money keeps flowing. Billion-dollar deals, minimal oversight, and a revolving door between regulators and industry insiders. It's like when your mechanic tells you everything's fine, but you can smell the smoke coming from under the hood. You know something's wrong, but nobody wants to admit it. A lot of folks don't talk about this dark side, but it's there, and it's only getting bigger. Dark reflection. Is this really the future we want? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What else are they hiding? What's really going on behind those closed doors, those encrypted servers, those late-night tweets? I'm still investigating this myself. Maybe I'm wrong about some of it, but here's how I see the dark side. The more power we hand over to a handful of tech giants, the less control we have over our own lives. And that, to me, is the scariest part of all. Subscribe for more dark automotive revelations. If you made it this far, you're not alone. There are a lot of us out here questioning, digging, refusing to accept the official story. So subscribe for more dark automotive revelations. Like if you agree this is disturbing. And share this video to expose the truth. Because the real story is only beginning. And trust me, what's under the hood is a lot darker than you think.